to Taipei City, the latest stop on the 2018 HSBC BWF World Tour. We're in Chinese Taipei, an island to the east of mainland China, here at the Taipei Arena, and it is finals day. So the second of 2 days of live coverage, and all the medals and the prize money will be distributed today, and there's a huge crowd here at the Taipei Arena. When I arrived about an hour and a half ago, they were queuing literally half a mile around the block to get in. An arena that seats upwards of 15,000. Here's how our events are divided through the season. 27 of them we're bringing you live through the year. This is a Super 300 tournament, one of 11 of those. And prize money here this week, a cool $500,000 US. The majority of it dished out today. Here's where we've been, the Far East. We've been to the States. We've got Denmark and France coming up as we hit the European swing. And it all builds up to those World Tour finals in Guangzhou, China, just a couple of weeks before Christmas. Well, here's how the mixed doubles HSBC race to Guangzhou standings lie at the moment. You can see 3 Chinese pairs currently in the top 8. But still room for some movement in the next few weeks. Here's our lineup for today, starting with the mixed doubles. The unseeded home hopes Yang and Wu against the Malaysian pair PRASETYA and ISLAMI. The women's doubles is an all-Japanese affair. Matsuyama and Shida's 5th final of the season. They've lost the previous 4. Then a men's singles final surely no one could have predicted. World number 60, Li Xijia against Rishi Takashita of Japan, seeking a first title in 5 years. The home crowd are guaranteed a winner in the men's doubles. Top seeds Chen and Wang, favourites against fellow countrymen Kiao and Su. And our finale is the women's singles, the world number 1, Tai Zhu-Ying, in front of her own fans, targeting her 5th title of the season. So that's what we've got in store. And here's how the mixed doubles draw has panned out. If you were with us yesterday, you'd have seen that match involving Wang and Wu. They played pretty well too, albeit took them 3 games to get the job done. PRASETYA and ISLAMI came through with, well, a minimum of fuss really in that Malaysian, or Indonesian I should say, semi-final. Players on their way. The crowd have been waiting patiently in their seats, and now they get the first taste of action. There's plenty of local interest today as well. 5 finals, and there's Chinese Taipei interest in 3 of them, including this one. Out with the officials, the handshakes. Malaysians wearing black today. First meeting between these two, which isn't a real surprise. Both went fairly low down. Had so many surprises this week, so I think their tiredness has definitely been a factor, coming off the back of the, well, first the World Championships and the summer, then the Asian Games. A lot of players have been in China and Korea as well, some of them. So not surprising that a little fatigue is setting in. And some of the players who haven't played as much as the big names have looked a little bit fresher this week. There's Po-Hsuan, 22 years of age, got to the final of the Vietnam Open this year in men's doubles. That was a Super 100 event. This is a Super 300. got to the final of the Malaysian International Tournament a couple of years ago. That was with a different partner, though, in the mixed doubles. And his partner today is Wu Ti-yun, who's a couple of years, 3 years, in fact, older than Yang. Very promising junior. She got a mixed team medal, the World Juniors, back in 2011. Women's doubles Grand Prix winner as well a few years ago. And there's how they've reached this final, and it's been well, tough going, as you can see. 3 of the 4 matches have been gone to 3 games. So let's have a look at their opponents, starting with Alfian PRASETYA. Rank of 87. I wouldn't read too much into that, from Jakarta. Actually won the World Junior mixed doubles a long time ago with a different partner, and he won the New Zealand Open in 2014 with Gloria Ujeja. And with his current partner, he won 6 tournaments. They're all minor tournaments, really. They are relatively successful in the smaller events. Got to the final this year in a couple of Super 100 tournaments, Japan and Vietnam. They lost both in 3 games. They did win the Finnish Open this year, and after a first round that could have gone either way, although they did win the 3rd game comprehensively, it's been pretty much plain sailing since then. David von Schwerin from Austria is in the umpire's chair. He'll be supported by service judge Lim Soo-ching. Well, obviously Yang and Wu will have the crowd behind them. To be fair, though, PRASETYA and ISLAMI have shown the better form this week. They've looked the more convincing, albeit both pairings obviously have played well to get to this final. They are the 8 seeds, the Malaysian pair.
And on the left, PRASETYA and ISLAMI, Indonesia. ISLAMI to serve. Young open. Level. Play.
Every point that Yang and Wu win will be greeted with similar enthusiasm, no doubt. Wu serving. Just very muted, polite applause when the Malaysian pair win a point. First serve for PRASETYA. She's really strong at the net, ISLAMI. Great anticipation. It's the initial shot, really, from Wu that had the Taipei pairing in trouble. Swing and a miss from Yang. I think he's a bit nonplussed by that. I don't think it came off the net. I think it was just a complete misjudgment. So sometimes when you try and anticipate and you go across, it doesn't always work. I think it was the right shot, just mishit it by a fraction. We do have Hawkeye, by the way, in operation. I think that's... Well, it's hit the line. Wow. Great point for Yang and Wu. Yeah, clearly. Just reiterating, we do have Hawkeye in operation. Each pair has 2 challenges per game, and if they're correct with the challenge, they keep it. 4 points in a row for Yang and Wu. Yeah, spotted an open space there, and no way really that Yang could get across and control the drive. It's flicked off the end of his racket. Solid leave. It's got all the makings of being a tight contest, this one. Trying to isolate ISLAMI and doing it very effectively. She resisted for a fair while, but in the end it was an easy kill for Wu. First time there's been a 3-point gap on the scoreboard. Miscue there from ISLAMI.
Serves over. 6-8.
It's one of the areas where they've impressed this week, PRASETYA and ISLAMI. The way they've worked their opponents to one side of the court and use the open space. Saw it again there. Saw it a couple of times already in the opening 4 or 5 minutes here. Oh yes. Sometimes it's not all about power. And so we're resisting pretty well, and then PRASETYA saw a little gap, and that one didn't come back. That's just wide of the sideline. It will be challenged. So for the first time on finals day here, Hawkeye gets a workout. Instinct was that the call was correct, but let's have a look. It's certainly close-ish. And probably worth a challenge just in case, and it did clip the line. Definitely worth a challenge. And as I was saying, because they were correct with the challenge, they still have 2 this game if required. Clever, nice disguise from PRASETYA, and excellent work at the net from his partner. Short range at the body, absolutely nothing Wu could do. And that was good.
10-9.
Not enough depth.
11-9.
Easy kill for PRASETYA, and the Malaysians have a 2-point advantage as we go for the interval after 7 minutes of action in our first of 5 finals today.
Play.
Tremendous footwork around the back of the court there from Yang. Covered a lot of ground.
10-11.
And got plenty on the smash as well. Yeah, they were in trouble off the serve and they knew it.
Serve is over. 12-10.
Almost taking a leaf out of their opponent's book there. Yang and Wu trying to work the
12.
relations around the court. In the end, they made the error. We're still nip and tuck in this opening game. ISLAMI just practicing the shot because that was the one that got them into trouble. Just gave an opening to young Po-Hsuan. So all square again. Second time that service got them into trouble.
13-12.
The body can be mighty effective.
14-12.
You don't have to even hit it that hard. It was an awkward height as well, and Yang just could do nothing about it. And went for the same technique. Great get off the net from Wu. Well, fabulous rally, best of the match. And with a little help from the net court, the home crowd enjoyed the result of it.
13-14.
Big point that as well. 15-12. Would have looked a little ominous. And just a point behind.
Serve is over. 15-13.
Yeah, so a tactical battle that the Malaysians are just starting to win.
16,
clever play at the net,
13.
particularly from ISLAMI. And then the power of PRASETYA from the back of the court and sometimes from mid-court, proving problematic for the home-based players. And again, Crowd doing their best to rouse Yang
13.
and Wu.
Service over. 14-17.
It's just on Wu so quickly. She couldn't really do anything about it. Partner may have got there actually, but heat of the moment, thought she could get there.
Service over. (15-18).
Service errors are just giving the Chinese Taipei pair a bit of hope.
Service over. 19-15.
That's wide. So the Indonesians now 5 game points in this opening game
15
to give themselves the advantage against the home hopes. And that's going to land in, and that is the opening game, 21-15.
First game won by Alfian Eko PRASETYA and
It didn't take long either. 14 minutes. On the balance of play, no more than they deserved. And just the cleverer players, PRASETYA and ISLAMI.
Hati-hati, kalau bisa ke tengah, nggak usah buka dulu, nggak apa-apa. Ke tengah dulu, kalau nggak menepar. Ya, jangan ke pojok-pojok dulu. Ingat kok, ya, mainnya begitu. Ya, agak lama tapi masih poin. Ya, ini jangan kepanjang, jangan di bagian belakang. Jangan kalau rally, kamu kasih dia begitu, kasih gol di tengah. Buangannya nggak enak, tapi kalau cowoknya lebih dapat buangannya. Ya, ini kalau nggak bisa tembus, kamu kasih ceweknya aja biar dia mukul dikit. Hah? Kamu baru kamu. 最终结束一个看他上去都是推落地回做动作做什么
I think there might have to be a little change of game plan here from Yang and Wu. They've just been outmaneuvered, particularly in the net.
节奏不要让他们太有点发球好发球
To be honest, the Indonesians don't really need to change a lot, I would imagine. More of the same in the message.
我现在放开打，放开打，好，把运动自己都打。
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
And you can just see they're champing at the bit to get on with it. PRASETYA and ISLAMI. So, can they pick up where they left off in the opening game?
Second game.
Well, they were leading 8-5 at one point, Yang and Wu.
Play.
But for saying the latter half of that game, they were totally dominated. Once again, PRASETYA clearly targeting Wu. And if they get off to this kind of a start, if this carries on, you've got to fear for Yang and Wu in the second game. 3-love in the blink of an eye. It's such a momentum-based sport. Once you're on a roll like this, it's so hard to snap that streak if you're Yang and Wu. The Indonesians just brimming with confidence at the moment. Well, they needed that. They needed something. They need a lot more, but at least they're on the board.
1-4.
And if they can string a run of points together, the crowd will get with them here. It was a late decision. I think she was going to leave that, ISLAMI. And by the time she changed her mind, it was effectively too late to do anything with it, really. Well, the net called this time favouring PRASETYA and ISLAMI. They had one go against him in the first game, so I guess all fair in love and war. He meant that, didn't he? And from virtually on the service line, there was no way that was coming back. Yeah, she read that. Wu. She read the disguise and she was on it so quickly.
3-5.
I would have given her a bit of heart. It might have just set a few alarm bells ringing in PRASETYA's head to maybe not play that shot again if his opponent at the net is picking it up.
4-5.
So a good little mini recovery here, only in the second game. As I said a few moments ago, the crowd will definitely respond, as they are doing. Now that, yes, favourite pair are back on level terms in the second game.
Service over.
Clever return.
6-5. Service over. 6-all.
Well, she'd really want to get the first one back, ISLAMI. I think he's slightly surprised Yang, but not to the extent where he couldn't finish off the point. And put their noses in front for the first time in the second game. It's a great angle, and you've got to give Yang huge credit for effort, because I'm not sure too many would have got to that. For all the good it did him. This really is terrific speed and endeavour. Ultimately to no avail. You don't really associate Yang with speed. I remember someone once saying someone was as slow as a hippo, but actually hippopotamuses can run at 30 kilometers an hour. So the advice would be don't get chased by one unless you're Usain Bolt. Even then I wouldn't advise it. So 7-all.
7-all.
If they could just get to the interval with a lead. Yang and Wu do an awful lot confidence-wise, but That was nailed by Alfian PRASETYA. Nice touch at the net from ISLAMI.
9-7.
Oh, yes. Well, they deserve to win the point. Just for that shot a bit earlier in the rally. And hear what the crowd thought of it. A terrific point. I think just tried to hit it a bit too hard in the end. ISLAMI, it was well out. Now Wu's had the odd problem, and so is Yang on the serving front. Yang serving here. Better. But that was a little wasteful. A little careless.
Service over. 10.
And having dropped the opening game, just can't afford to make any kind of errors like that. Unforced errors the enemy at the moment. Big point, this. Well, I was going to say an 11-8 lead would be worrying for Yang and Wu, and that's exactly the way we are. So, well, I think it's the Indonesians' final to lose from here, being a game up, 3 points up at the halfway stage of game 2. Mighty quick time, just 24 minutes. It's been entertaining. They are in the ascendancy at the moment. Get the feeling that Yang and Wu have to strike back almost immediately here. If they let the Indonesians pull away, not sure there'll be any way back.
12-8.
Confidently finished off at the net by ISLAMI. She's got both touch and power when required. Another error, and these are adding up now.
14-8.
Well, they've stopped the rut, but they've still got a lot of work to do.
Nine, 14.
It's going to go wide. That's terrific team play from PRASETYA and ISLAMI. And PRASETYA noticeably raised his arms there. Just, it wasn't so much the importance of the point on the score, but it was just that they teamed up so well and snuffed out any hope of a little mini recovery at that point from their opponents. Slight gamble going for that aggressive backhand, but I guess with a 6-point advantage as it was, it's a calculated gamble. Didn't pay off. Great placement again from PRASETYA.
Serve is over. 16-10.
Nice touch. Wasn't put off that previous attempt at reception. Was picked off by Wu that time. She didn't read it. Closing in. Yeah, beautifully done. Set up by ISLAMI. Finished comprehensively by PRASETYA, and the Indonesians in the crowd, one suspects, will be on their feet shortly celebrating the first victory on finals day here in Chinese Taipei. It's long again.
19-10.
That'll work. And here are 10 championship points for Alfian PRASETYA and Marsheena ISLAMI.
10.
Placement was perfection itself. It's in. May only delay the inevitable, but will make their opponents fight every inch of the way.
11,
They want this title.
20.
That will do it. It's a title for PRASETYA and ISLAMI in very quick time. 31 minutes. They have been exceptional this afternoon, and even a crowd that was cheering for the Taipei pair is giving them a very warm ovation. They've just seen an excellent display of mixed doubles from the Indonesians.
21-15, 21-11.
In fact, the official match time just half an hour. And of course, being finals day, we'll have the medal presentations after each final. So stay with us, we're going to watch them as they make their way. And they'll go out the arena initially very briefly and then come back onto the podium for the presentation. I think for Yang and Wu, just reaching this final was a noteworthy achievement. Won't seem much of a consolation now. We've got a few Indonesians in, as you can see. photographers training their lenses on the left-hand side of the auditorium as you look there, which is where the podium has been set up. So they should be out very shortly for our first medal presentation of the afternoon. It really is a terrific crowd in there. Even the upper level is more than half full, and the first tier, not a seat
Good
for the
afternoon,
air.
ladies and gentlemen. 2018尤内斯中华台北羽球公开赛混合双打颁奖仪式正式开始。Yonex Chinese Taipei Open 2018 Mixed Doubles Awarding Ceremony begin. 让我们用热情的掌声，有请我们的亚军中华台北代表队选手杨国勋、吴立儿请上台。
So the dignitaries on their way to present, first of all, the runners-up medals to Yang Po-Hsuan and Wu Ti-yung of Chinese Taipei. And a pretty good payday for them as well. Losing finalists in the doubles, $19,000 US. But to the winners, the spoils, as they say. $39,500 they will win for their efforts. PRASETYA and ISLAMI. Well, why wouldn't they be all smiles? Looks like they've got a whole load of other goodies. Ah, flowers, okay.
Thank you so much.
So we know our first champions for the 2018 Chinese Taipei Open. PRASETYA and ISLAMI have taken down the mixed doubles title, and in comprehensive fashion as well. They've got some little memento there as well, just to remind them of this achievement. And a few photos as well. So coming up next, it's the women's doubles, which, as you can see, is an all-Japanese affair. join us again in a couple of moments.